Thankfully, things like walnut cakes were divided. There were more than 50 students in this class, and each person could get about 3 pieces on average. She did not wait for everyone to arrive and placed some on each table. Nian Nian. Zhao Xiaoqing waved at her from her seat. Shi Niange smiled at her and continued to split the items. As she did so, she said, "Why are you here so early?" "I'm on duty today." As Zhao Xiaoqing spoke, she came over to help her distribute. As she did so, she praised her for quickly becoming familiar with her classmates. She praised Shi Niange for her good personality and said that she was always too shy and would blush when talking to others. Shi Niange smiled and chatted with her for a while. She then accompanied Zhao Xiaoqing to wipe the floor. After tidying up, almost everyone had arrived. The two of them returned to their seats. Shi Niange casually explained the matter of the walnut cakes to everyone. She only said that it was made by her relatives and was very delicious. She could not finish it herself, so she distributed it to everyone. Everyone was quite happy. However, Shi Niange was unhappy today. She had been looking at the 3 pieces of walnut cakes on her deskmate's table for the entire morning. Zhao Xiaoqing gently poked her back with a pen and whispered, "Come back to your senses. Don't be in a daze. Why are you looking to the side?" Shi Niange sat up straight again and raised her head to look at the teacher and the blackboard. However, her heart felt empty. She did not know that Qin Siding would not come today. She had thought that after the weekend she would be able to sit with her male god again on Monday. However, he was not here today. Hao Xiuxia said that there was a physics competition in the province today. Almighty Qin was representing the entire province where Hai City was located. His competitors were all famous top students in the country. The competition would take at least 3 to 4 days. He would definitely not be here for the next few days. It had been hard on Shi Niange for the past 3 to 4 days. Qin Siding was the reason why she could support herself to come to school with hope every day. As long as she thought of a tall, fair, good-looking, and top student sitting by her side, she would be filled with motivation. No matter how difficult the lessons were, she would be willing to make up for it. However, he was not around these few days. Even Zhao Xiaoqing and Hao Xiuxia realized that in the past few days when Qin Siding was not around, Shi Niange was especially listless. Even when the teacher asked her to go to the office to make up for the lesson, she had a sad expression on her face. She was not as motivated as usual. She finally made it to Tuesday afternoon's physical education class. For 2 whole days, Shi Niange, who did not have a male god sitting beside her, was like a person who had just been sucked away by a demon. Chapter 1447. Shi Niange felt a very clean and warm feeling on her wrist. The cold, tall and thin boy was almost a head taller than her. She was clearly 1.66 meters tall, but Qin Siding looked like he was really more than 1.85 meters tall. Clearly, she had only taken a quick glance at him. Now that she was pulled away by him and followed behind him, she realized that he was really tall. After being pulled away, she only had time to turn back to look in the direction of the driver. She did not speak again. She was brought by the strong force on her wrist to the walking path under the high wall outside the school. There were students from other classes coming and going on both sides. They seemed to have seen that she was holding Qin Siding's hand. They had already sent many curious, surprised and gossipy gazes over. Qin Siding retracted his hand and looked at her indifferently. "What exactly do you want?" At this moment, he maintained a distance of 2 or 3 people from her, as though the person who had led her here was not him. Shi Niange still felt that her wrist was warm. This warmth spread all the way to the bottom of her heart. She inadvertently touched her wrist again and raised her eyes to meet his cold gaze. Was the person in the car earlier an auntie? Qin Siding glanced at her coldly. "Yes. I really just happened to see you in that car and saw Uncle Driver buy medicine. You know why I skipped a grade to year 3? I know pharmacology. I was afraid that if Auntie took that medicine, it wouldn't have any effect and would hurt even more, so I bought the medicine and sent it over. I don't have any other intentions. If my actions have disturbed you, I apologize. I won't do it again." Shi Niange now felt that although she had good intentions, she was indeed too abrupt. She also regretted her rashness. Qin Siding took out a black wallet. "How much is the medicine?" The sincere apology and smile on Shi Niange's face instantly disappeared. He was drawing a clear line between them. He did not intend to owe her a single cent. "There's no need. I even dirtied your shirt last time. Compared to your shirt, the money for my small box of medicine shouldn't be much." Qin Siding paused as though he had recalled the matter of the shirt because of her words. He placed the wallet back and said lightly, "All right, we're even." As soon as he finished speaking, he turned around and left. He had no intention of continuing to speak with her. Hey, hello. We've been desk mates for a long time. You don't have to keep pushing me away, do you? We're all classmates and we don't have any goals. Can't we just be friends? Shirniange quickly followed him without hesitation. She walked quickly behind the boy and said, "Communicating normally once in a while is better than looking at each other coldly every day, right?" Qin Siding did not turn back. Shirniange continued to follow unwillingly until they reached the school gate. Chapter 1456. Shirniange, what are you looking at? The teacher suddenly glared at her warningly. Pay attention to the experimental tools in your hands. Don't hurt your hands. Shirniange, who was suddenly caught by the teacher, quickly turned her head. Zhao Xiaoqing chuckled and looked at her. Shirniange also lowered her head and snickered. When the teacher wasn't paying attention, she turned back and saw that Qin Siding was still standing there motionlessly doing experiments with the teacher. In comparison, Qin Siding was much taller than the teacher. Standing there, he was really eye-catching. Don't be infatuated. Hurry up. If you haven't finished the experiment by the end of class, your almighty Qin will laugh at you. Zhao Xiaoqing patted her. The words, your almighty Qin, made Shirniange feel as though she was about to float. After coming out of the laboratory, Zhao Xiaoqing was still laughing at her. Just as she was about to walk back to the floor where the class was, she suddenly saw Tang Xiao standing there with an unlit cigarette in his hand. He turned to see Shirniange and his gaze was fixed on her. Smoking was definitely not allowed in the school, but usually these boys would secretly take cigarettes to the toilet or to the back of the school to smoke. Only these young masters from especially well-off families dared to openly walk in the school building with cigarettes. Although he did not smoke the cigarette, he did not hide it. He held it between his fingers and stood there, staring in Shirniange's direction. He seemed to want to say something, but when he saw that there was another female classmate beside her, he hesitated for a second. In this second, Shirniange grabbed Zhao Xiaoqing's arm and turned to enter the class. Tang Xiao stood where he was and frowned in annoyance. He turned around and was about to leave when he suddenly saw Qin Siding walking up the stairs on this side. The moment Tang Xiao saw Qin Siding, his expression immediately turned cold. He didn't know what was wrong. They were both in their third year of high school, and it wasn't like they had never met Qin Siding before. There had never been any disputes or conflicts between them. The two of them only existed in the discussions between the students in the school and had never interacted much. However, although Tang Xiao had a shadow in his heart over the deduction of points, it wasn't that serious. Why did he feel that something was wrong when he met Qin Siding these 2 times? He felt that the pressure was stronger than before. Almighty Qin. Tang Xiao knew how everyone usually called him, so he spoke politely. Qin Siding only glanced at him indifferently. He did not stop and directly walked past him. I heard that my girlfriend is your desk mate now. Tang Xiao looked at him and didn't beat around the bush at all. I say, Almighty Qin, we're not strangers anymore. Last time, you were the one who deducted my points. Chapter 1460. Before the midterm exam, Shirniange had endured for many days like everyone else. When the results came out, it could be seen that she had worked very hard. Previously, when she was in the second year of high school, her grades were only above average. When she was in the third year of high school, she could understand a portion of the curriculum and work hard to revise. In the end, she could obtain more than 100 points in the midterm exams. The teacher was already very satisfied with her current results and encouraged her to continue working hard. She wanted to take advantage of the remaining time to continue to take more remedial lessons and complete all the courses in the second and third years. This way, if her ranking could continue to rise during the final exam, the teacher would definitely not let her grandfather down. Without a doubt, Qin Siding's results were still first in the school year. It was said that he had been first in the school year for a long time. No one could shake this first place. According to Shirniange's observation of him, she found that although he would listen in class, he was not overly focused like other top students, nor was he the type of person who lowered his head to focus on learning. He seemed to be blessed by nature and had an absolute ability to absorb all kinds of knowledge. In addition, he was also very serious. Unlike other rich kids who dawdled around every day, his life was bright, clean, and had an accurate direction. Gradually, he seemed to have become her wind vane in school every day. Then look. The total score is 185 points lower than yours. Last month, when you lent me your notes to copy, I said that if I can reach the passing mark and exceed the estimated score by at least 50 points, you should give me your phone number. Look, I've exceeded quite a bit. You're right. Qin Siding nodded. You're right. You're right. Qin Siding did not answer. Although she was the one who suggested it and he did not speak or agree, he did not reject it. Shinianj had no choice but to compromise. How about this? During the final exam, if my results are more than 30 points higher than now, you'll give me your phone number? Qin Siding did not look at her, as though he did not hear her. Shinianj did not want to be discouraged, but she still felt a little hurt. He clearly did not reject her at that time. It was just a phone number. It wasn't like she would disturb him. After the exam, it happened to be a rare 2-day weekend. Recently the school had been too tight. They could only rest for half a day on Sundays. It was rare for them to have 2 days of vacation. Zhao Xiaoqing asked Shinianj out to shop. She was wearing a beautiful floral dress and held her arm as they walked. Didn't you do well in the exam this time? The teacher already said that you, a student who skipped a grade, was ranked in the top 300 of the school year.